Liz, I'd love to ask the same question of you, slightly different sector. So would love to hear about the challenges that your organization and the leaders that you've been working with have faced this year.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm currently serving as a director of business partnering for Adobe Systems, and I've had the privilege of supporting many different groups in my tenure. I'm currently aligned with our chief security officer and CIO, but I can speak to kind of Adobe more broadly today, because I think the challenges, similar to what John was sharing, are the same. We went home, began taking the entire company working from home the first week of March. So imagine, if you will, 24,000 employees at the flip of a switch, going from in-office, and that doesn't include our contractors and otherwise. So everyone flipping, Sunday the decision was made and we implemented on Monday morning. I think we too have a culture that is very collaborative. So taking that size organization and shifting them to working from home, there's been a lot of creativity with the support, and we can talk about that throughout our conversation. But from an innovation standpoint, that's a core component of the culture. And so getting incredibly creative with how do you innovate when everyone's on a screen like this. We use Blue Jeans, but in that same way. So first is establishing, and the dates changing. So when we first went out, it's that ever, the pivot. So at first it was, we're gonna be home until May. And then it was July, and then it was October, and then it was January, and now it's mid 2021. So in the spirit of that constant evolution, what tools, what experiences, and at the heart of all of it, and I'm sure that's for all of my colleagues on this call, at the center of it is the employee. And how are we supporting the unique situations, that same storm, very different boats. And that's a quote, I can't credit it, but it is so unique. It's one size fits one. So there are systems and things that we can talk about that are being established, and yet at the heart of it is the work I'm doing in particular is, how do I work with my leaders to have the pulse and the more frequent communication to know exactly what's happening, because it's not a blanket approach. We have parents, we have people caring for elders, we have single individuals who are in a tiny space that are used to coming to an office. There's so many components. So it's really getting close to that. So innovation, how do we innovate when we're 24,000 plus at home? Prioritization is one we could certainly talk about later with the workload, and everything's important. And yet leadership is pushing down, we need to prioritize, but I think the bottoms up, everyone wants to keep doing. And then how do we connect with people to ensure we're providing the support, the tools, the resources, well-being resources, technical resources to help people navigate so that they can be supported. So just a few things. That's what we're up to. Yeah, just a couple.
I love this idea of one size fits one, knowing that the challenges have been so personal and individual based on just your own context, and it's not the same for kind of anyone. So
yeah, and then you magnify that by the globe, right? So here in the Bay Area versus what are the conditions that are happening, say, with our teams in India or Europe or Japan. The need to have a holistic worldview and understand it's going to be different, and equipping our leaders to be able to support them so that they can then go support that.
Sure, because they also are dealing with their own set of challenges. So
exactly.
it's
Yeah.
layered.